Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys about unhealthy price action in a schematic. So some people call it inefficient price, unhealthy price action. It's pretty much where you have imbalance and you have this huge gap where price has to come back and fill the gap. So if you haven't read the Wyckoff Methodology, it talks about how price actually works. So depending where you learn Forex, you guys, it's more than just rectangle, squares, head and shoulders, knees and toes. It's about how price actually works and how it's manipulated, hence smart money institutional trading. So this right here is going to explain to you how price works when you have the big column and the ask column and how the market can be manipulated, leaving visible gaps where price has to come back and fill. Now, if that also doesn't make sense, because I promise you the first time you read it, it may not make sense. This is the first book that I recommend when it comes to Smart Money Academy. So if you guys didn't know, I do have a program called the Smart Money Academy where I teach you guys everything you need to know about trading institutional, including which books to read and how to interpret them, because half these books don't even seem to be written in English. Like, it's very hard to understand without someone putting things into perspective. But this book explains pretty much smart money trading from an actual kind of movie perspective in terms of it talks about a stock operator that is witnessing people manipulate the market by pushing directions in different ways. And that's literally what we're seeing when we see unhealthy price action and gaps. It's when, you know, the markets are manipulated in one way by injecting massive flows of liquidity, and then it has to come back and break even because they were planning to go in one way, but they had to push in another way to manipulate, but they have to go break even before they close those positions. So if that doesn't make sense, again, it's definitely what I teach, but that's what we're looking at within this schematic right here. This one was counter trend, and as you see, I got out on time, but I'll show you guys the trade from the beginning. Okay, so first thing that I noticed, you guys, is these 3 drives up. Now, I don't really consider the PS to be somewhere for trading range, but it's something that I acknowledge in this situation. So there's different types of schematics. In the Wyckoff book, I believe this is a type 2, and there's another PDF that I have exclusively for Smart Money Academy, and it shows different types as well. But here we have 2 drives, including a PS, and then we have a second test that's lower with the wick. This is a wick trade. And then we have a lot of, we have a huge migration block. So here, you just see price becoming very, very weak. We have this huge impulse push, and then price becomes very, very weak with the MSAO. So here, not only do we have inefficient price on the left, right, but then we have it on the right, which is our normal entry. So even though this trend is this trade is counter trend, I knew that this had to get filled, right? And fill doesn't mean we always trade, right? So if you would have traded here, you probably would have got stopped out, and there's no schematic within here, but there's a schematic in here telling me that it's okay to sell, okay? So I knew we had to come back here. We came back here with the MSAO, and there was no schematic, but this was the schematic. And here we also have more inefficient price. So this one was extremely crazy to trade. So here, I had 2 points of interest. I had the one that aligns with the PS, and then I had the one that aligns with the regular AR, which is my normal scenario. So as you guys see, on the 1 minute is where the gap actually shows. So this is extremely low time frame. So again, unless you're working with SMA or a mentor, it may be hard for you to find these in real time, but that's okay. Start on the 30-minute 1 hour and work your way down throughout the months that you're practicing. But this was unhealthy price action. You can already see right here, we have a bunch of order blocks. So there's a lot of liquidity. Guys, make sure you're reading the candlesticks, okay? Because sometimes I'm looking at some charts and it's a bunch of patterns, but people aren't actually reading the information. It's telling me that there's massive volume in this section. So all I had to do was pick a place. Now, I prioritize something up here as well, and I prioritize here and here. So for me, as long as I got in early around here, right, whatever drawdown I had to fill anything would have been okay to still hit take profit. So for unhealthy price action, what you're looking for is massive candles, you guys. This is not unhealthy. This little gap is not unhealthy. We have a drop for 10 candles on the 1 minute time frame. That's the 1 minute time frame, you guys, okay? So 10 pips is not a lot, but it is on a 1 minute time frame when the average candle is only 1.5 pips. Okay, so for me, this should really stand out to you guys, and this is literally what I teach all the time. And look how long this goes for. This is huge unhealthy price action. So something like this, yes, there's a gap, but it's followed by dojis and followed by a retracement. There's no retracement here. This is the retracement, which is why I traded it. So we need to recognize the difference between unhealthy price action and regular price action that so happens to have small gaps that get filled. But this is not a tradable schematic. If you try to chase these gaps, you're not going to be successful. If you try to chase this, you would have been stopped out. And this is how we're able to snipe with a 7.1 pip stop. Okay? All the time, everything less than 10 pips, guys. If you guys want to learn how to do less than 10 pips on the 1 minute time frame, literally, guys, is exactly what I teach at Smart Money Academy. So if that's what you're interested in and you haven't been consistent with trading and you actually want to take the change, then definitely join the Smart Money Academy. Link is in bio if you guys are interested. You guys can ask me any questions in my free group chat or on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.